In the vast plains of West Texas, a legend was born in 1870. That year, 19-year-old Samuel Burk Burnett purchased 100 head of cattle in Denton, Texas, each bearing a distinctive 6666 brand. With that deal, Burnett not only acquired the cattle, but also the 4 Sixes brand itself, a mark so simple it was hard for rustlers to alter. From these humble beginnings, the 6666 Ranch was founded, planting the seeds of what would become one of Texas's most fabled ranching empires. Burnett established his headquarters near Guthrie, and over the coming decades, he expanded aggressively, setting the stage for an operation that today spans roughly 260,000 acres across multiple counties. Despite persistent folklore that he won the ranch in a poker game with 4 Sixes, the truth is rooted in this savvy cattle deal and a fierce work ethic. By the end of the 19th century, the 4 Sixes brand was already synonymous with quality livestock and frontier grit. Captain Burk Burnett proved to be as bold in business as he was in the saddle. In the 1870s, he drove longhorn herds north to railheads, navigating the perils of cattle trails and economic downturns. Surviving the financial panic of 1873 by holding and later selling his steers at a profit, Burnett demonstrated a shrewd instinct for ranching. He also forged an unlikely alliance with Comanche leader Pwana Parker, negotiating rights to graze cattle on 300,000 acres of tribal lands in Indian Territory. This deal not only gave him vast grasslands to expand his herds, but earned him the Comanche nickname Massasoit, meaning Big Boss, a mark of respect seldom accorded to cattlemen of that era. As open-range ranching gave way to fenced pastures, Burnett began buying land to secure his domain. Around 1900, he purchased the Old 8 Ranch near Guthrie and the Dixon Creek Ranch in the Texas Panhandle, acquisitions that formed the nucleus of the 4 Sixes empire and pushed his holdings to over 1/3 acres. In 1917, flush with success, Burnett built what he declared the finest ranch house in West Texas, an imposing 11-bedroom stone mansion that still stands at the Guthrie headquarters. This grand house, built for an unheard-of sum of $100,000, hosted luminaries like President Theodore Roosevelt, who hunted wolves on the range with the Burnetts, and humorist Will Rogers, among others. By the time of his passing in 1922, Captain Burnett had cemented a ranching legacy as large as Texas itself, having transformed a modest herd of cattle into a sprawling ranching dynasty. In the early days, and even into the 20th century, a handful of cowboys managed this vast spread. Historically, only about a dozen regular ranch hands rode fence and tended cattle across some 200,000 acres. Even today, nearly 20 full-time cowboys, in the traditional sense, live and work on the Sixes, often following in the bootsteps of their fathers and grandfathers. They begin before dawn, gathering and doctoring cattle, branding calves, and mending miles of barbed wire fence. Many still do their work on horseback, honoring methods that have changed little since the days of open-range cowpunchers. The ranch employs a full-time old-fashioned windmiller to maintain dozens of windmills that pump water for the herds alongside new solar-powered wells, a scene where century-old traditions meet modern ingenuity on the range. The environment itself demands toughness and resourcefulness. Cowboys here contend with blinding dust storms, winter blizzards, and summer heat that can top 115 degrees Fahrenheit. In drought years, the ranch's strategy of stocking only 1 cow-calf pair per 30 acres helps ensure the land can sustain the herd through punishing dry spells. By balancing stocking rates with what the land and weather allow, the Sixes crew rides through Mother Nature's challenges with a resilience as unyielding as the West Texas terrain.
From its early years, the 6666 Ranch set out to raise not just cattle and horses, but the best cattle and horses that the range had ever seen. Burnett's original Longhorn stock soon gave way to improved beef breeds. He introduced Durham, also known as Shorthorn, and later Hereford bulls to upgrade the quality of his cattle. By the mid-20th century, the ranch ran vast herds of premium Hereford cattle. It's said that by 1936, over 20,000 Herefords grazed the 4-6's pastures. Eventually, the ranch transitioned to the Angus breed to meet modern market demand, phasing out its last Herefords in favor of Black Angus genetics, better suited for today's beef industry. The result is a cow-calf operation, of roughly 7,000 mother cows, renowned for producing high-grade, hardy calves. In fact, the 4-6's name now stands as a mark of quality in the cattle world, a front-runner in genetics and range management that consistently produces top-tier beef animals. Horses, too, are a cornerstone of the 6's legacy. The ranch's American Quarter Horse program rose from a single foundation stud to an internationally acclaimed breeding operation. Early ranch manager George Humphreys began improving the horse herd in the 1930s by acquiring quality broodmares and stallions. One legendary stallion was Hollywood Gold, foaled on the ranch in 1940, who became a prolific sire of cutting horses and left a lasting mark on quarter horse bloodlines. Another influential sire was C. Bars, purchased by Humphreys in the 1940s. His offspring excelled both on the racetrack and in ranch work. By 1960, the ranch made a formal commitment to develop a world-class equine breeding program, and it paid off. 3 stallions in particular, Joe Hancock, Hollywood Gold, and Gray Badger II, rose to prominence and had outsized influence on the quarter horse industry. Under the guidance of horse division manager Dr. Glenn Blodgett, hired in 1982, the 6's embraced cutting-edge reproductive technology, from artificial insemination of ranch mares to strategic partnerships with other top ranches' sires. This strategy produced champions like 6's Pick, a stallion foaled from 6's bloodlines that went on to become the AQHA's World Champion Versatility Ranch Horse in 2008. Whether it's in the sale ring, the show arena, or working the ranch, horses carrying the 6666 brand are widely respected for their soundness, cow sense, and speed. Today, the ranch stands some of the most sought-after quarter horse stallions in the business, and its elite broodmare band ensures that the 4-6's legacy will continue in equine excellence for generations to come. The 4-6's ranch remained under Burnett family stewardship for over 150 years, evolving with the times while fiercely guarding its heritage. After Captain Burnett died in 1922, he ensured his granddaughter Anne, valiant Miss Ann Burnett, inherited the ranch's core holdings, held in trust until she had an heir. Miss Ann, an accomplished horsewoman in her own right, took the torch and kindled the ranch's reputation through the mid-20th century. She was instrumental in the founding of the American Quarter Horse Association, and even bred champion horses like Gray Badger II and Hollywood Gold that became hallmarks in the 6's breeding program. Upon Miss Ann's passing in 1980, her daughter, Anne Burnett Windfor Marion, Little Anne, assumed control, becoming the 4th-generation owner of the ranch. Mrs. Marion embraced her birthright with a passion, ushering the ranch into the modern age without losing its soul. Under her leadership, the ranch sold off some peripheral land, such as the Triangle Ranch, to focus on its primary Guthrie and Panhandle divisions of roughly 260,000 acres. Crucially, she invested in the people and the land. The 4-6's became one of the first ranches to offer its cowboys full medical benefits and retirement plans, an almost unheard-of practice in the ranching world at the time. Mrs. Marion insisted on excellent living and working conditions for her crew, engendering deep loyalty. Many cowboys made a lifelong career at the 666's, with some families working there for 2 and even 3 generations. Technological innovation also found its way to the ranch. In the 2010s, during a severe drought, the 6's adopted electronic ID tags for its cattle, a modern traceability system that allowed the staff to seamlessly track and manage cows when herds had to be relocated across state lines. General Manager Joe Leathers helped implement ultra-high-frequency ear tags that can be read wirelessly, reducing stress on cattle and labor for cowboys. What began as a stopgap response to dry conditions became a permanent part of the ranch's management toolkit, keeping the operation on the cutting edge of the industry. At the same time, the ranch has remained committed to stewardship of its natural resources, rotating grazing to prevent overuse, reclaiming native grasses, and maintaining dozens of windmills and solar wells to guarantee water across its expansive arid rangeland. Oil wealth also bolstered the 4-6s through the years. The discovery of oil on ranch lands in 1921 and later in 1969 poured a fortune into the operation, helping fund improvements and weather hard times. In fact, the oil strike at Dixon Creek in 1921 was the very first well in the vast Texas Panhandle field, instantly multiplying the Burnett family's wealth. Anne Marion, who was as renowned for her philanthropy and art patronage as for her ranching, used those resources to establish the Burnett Foundation and support cultural institutions across Texas. Yet even as the 4-6s grew into a multi-million-dollar enterprise, it never ceased to be a working ranch, a place where the day starts before sunrise, horses and cattle come first, and cowboying is a way of life as much as a job. As Mrs. Marion often said, growing up on the ranch kept my feet on the ground, and she honored that grounding by fiercely protecting the ranch's heritage, traditions, and people. In February 2020, the 4-6s ranch faced a turning point with the passing of Anne Burnett Marion at 81. In her will, Miss Anne's granddaughter, the last of the direct Burnett line, stipulated that all her ranching operations be sold, ending an era but ensuring the ranch would find a capable new steward. The news sent a ripple through Texas ranch country. For the first time in its storied history, the legendary 666 Ranch was on the market. An offering was assembled to include all three divisions: the Guthrie Home Ranch, roughly 142,000 acres, Dixon Creek, 114,000 acres, and the smaller Frisco Creek Tract, 9,400 acres, along with thousands of cattle, horses, equipment, the 6666 brand, and even the ranch's historic homes. The price tag, by all accounts, was as grand as the ranch's reputation. The estate listed the 266,000-acre package for approximately $341 million, just for the land itself. It was poised to be one of the most significant ranch sales in modern history. The buyer emerged from an unexpected quarter, or perhaps, given the ranch's fame, a perfectly fitting one. In January 2022, it was confirmed that a group led by filmmaker Taylor Sheridan had purchased the 4-6s ranch in its entirety. Sheridan, a Texas native and co-creator of the hit TV series Yellowstone, had been eyeing the ranch both for its legacy and its potential as a storytelling backdrop. In fact, scenes for Yellowstone's fourth season and its prequel series 1831 were filmed on the 6's ranges and inside its barns. The deal closed in early 2022, with Sheridan as the public face of an investor group that reportedly includes studio backers like Paramount and entrepreneur Ron Berkeley, who saw value in owning an authentic Texas ranch that could double as a film set. While the final sale price remains undisclosed, it's been rumored around $320 million for the ranch and all its assets. Sheridan has expressed reverence for the purchase, emphasizing that the legacy of the 666 Ranch and the vision of Anne Marion are vital not only to the ranch itself, but to the rich heritage of ranching in Texas. He vowed to preserve its operations and traditions, keeping it a working ranch just as it has always been. Indeed, the new owners have kept on all the ranch's employees and continue to run cattle and horse programs as before. For fans of Sheridan's Western epics, the 4-6s will soon take on an even more visible role. A Yellowstone spin-off series centered on the 666 Ranch is reportedly in development, a testament to its almost mythic status in cowboy lore. The ranch itself has already made cameo appearances on the television screen, bridging its real-world history with modern pop culture. As the 4-6s Ranch enters this new chapter, it remains a place where past and present ride together. Its cattle still graze the rolling plains under that big Texas sky. Its cowboys, whether 6 generations deep or newcomers, still lope out on horseback to gather the herd at sunrise. The main house still stands, its 1917 stone walls a silent witness to oil booms, famous guests, and the laughter of generations of ranch families. And now, with passionate new ownership at the helm, the legacy of the 4-6s Ranch is poised to carry forward. Over 150 years after Burk Burnett burned that 6666 brand onto his steer, the name 46s continues to represent the pinnacle of ranching heritage, an ongoing story of land, livestock, and the undying spirit of the American West.